I definitely respect them less than the teachers, probably more than other students, but that's only because most students here are straight up pieces of.
I feel like they're not as qualified as teachers, and you don't really know as for sure about their background.
I feel like it's kind of a dirty profession.
Some of the custodians that people don't know as well and haven't taken the time to get to know as well, I don't think that they necessarily have as high of a respect for them.
I think it's generally regarded as kind of a low profession, so maybe I'd describe them as uneducated, unable to do other work, I guess.
If they don't want to clean up our mess, then they should have went to college and got a degree.
I feel like people kind of look down upon the custodians and think they're better than them, in a way. I do respect custodians and everything they do for us. I honestly think it's probably one of the hardest jobs at the high school, having to keep it clean, having to deal with all the messes that we make and not complain about it.
I find that custodians, they are serving a needed job, I guess, or something that needs to be done. Without the custodians, the school would be chaos. A lot of the things they're doing, most people don't see them doing. If you didn't have the custodians here for even a day or two, there would be a significant difference in the way the school looks.
A lot of times what people don't understand about custodians, it's like when you're learning, if you have a clean environment to learn in, then it helps you out a lot. So I think our job is very important. And around this district, they lean on the custodians a lot for security, and parents entrust that their kids are safe. So we have to make sure the building is safe and ready for you guys to come in and learn.
One of the things that irritates me is when people treat other people disrespectfully. Because when you're leaving trash around, you're expecting them to do something that you could easily do. And it's really your job because it's your trash.
You're never forced to interact with a custodian, really. Not in the way you have to be in the same class with a student or a teacher. So I've never formed connections with a custodian. When I see one in the hallways, I try to smile or something, but it usually feels a bit fake.
Sometimes kids can be kind of disrespectful. Like for instance, in the lunchroom, we have another custodian named, Hermie, and I've seen kids kind of disrespect him, call them names, and just be generally disrespectful. Not everybody, but there's a certain group. I've had to say something to them before. Hopefully they grow out of that.
My worst is probably, with the kids pee on the floor on purpose. It's gross, and to me that's just being disrespectful.
I've been working in that cafeteria for 10 years now. There are some people who will piss me off. Sometimes I hear them saying, "Oh, he's only a janitor here." So, yeah, I find it's rude. I just take it just with a grain of salt. So, sometimes I dislike them, but It's just part of the job, I guess.
You know what? I try to treat them like I do my kids. I mean, you know, like I like to have fun and joke around, and I like to take the pressure off them. There's a lot of pressure up here.
One of the custodians was shoveling snow out in the front, and then I said thank you to him, and then he looked at me like super surprised and was like, well, thank you, like, for saying thank you.
My dad, who works at Barrington, he's been in this line of work since before I was born, so I just kind of came up and followed his footsteps. Supposed to go to college to be a teacher, actually, and then I didn't go back. I had my daughter, and I just didn't go back to school. I was supposed to go to Muskingum College in New Concord, Ohio, to play football, but I got hurt playing football, and it didn't work out.
Do you regret not going to college, or?
Yep, every day. I was going to go be an elementary school teacher. You know, I just wanted to work around kids. You know, I love kids. You know, but. You know, I guess everything happens for a reason, and it kind of full circle. I work in a school, you know.
Did your kids go to college?
My oldest went to the Wright State, and she has one more year left, so if I can get her to finish, then we'll be in good shape.
And the other ones, no college?
Nah, just hair school. The other boy was supposed to go to automotive school, but he didn't go.
Did you want your kids to go to college?
Oh, yeah. I think every parent wants them to go. But, you know, it's what they do when they get there. You know, if they do what they're supposed to do, then it's all right.
What's something that not many people know about you?
I was a single parent. My daughter danced me for 9 years until I got married. And I took custody of her in 5 months. So, a man raising a little girl. How about that?
You know, we graduate from high school at age 16. After high school, we don't have money. So I was not able to go to college or even technical school. So I just helped my mom. I first came here in 1997 after so many denials of the United States Embassy in Manila. Because I keep on telling those consuls, I'm going there because I'm going to donate one of my kidneys to my sister. On the last interview, the 8th, the consul told me, well, your sister can find better donors in America. When we are the perfect match. My sister was crying because I told her, I think I cannot come to America. So she was crying on her desk because she worked for IBM in New York. So she was crying and her manager saw her. What's wrong? When he learned of the story, he immediately dialed the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He sent a message to the U.S. Embassy in Manila, wherein you can clean up the Serminio Cuenca mess or you'll be out of your job. So when I came here, I was not able to, the donation or the transplant was not able to go through because I have high blood sugar. So I went back to the Philippines. We came here in 2004. Before we came here, that was in 2002, she died. She passed away.
How are your children doing?
My eldest is Jennifer. She's 40. She worked for IBM in the Philippines where they outsourced the job. And then Jeffrey, who works with Teleperformance. Then Marisa, who's also a teacher back home. So they were left behind because when we came here, they aged out, over 21. So we came here with only her Michael, Dorothy, and Timothy. Dorothy and Timothy were of high school age, so we came here.
My husband died. One of the kids that went to Burbank was about second or third grade, and she came up to me, and her mom had told her that my husband died, and my husband too, because I worked at the preschool for a little while. And she came up to me and asked me, did I have a cat or a dog or anything? And I said, well, that my son had a cat. She said, oh yeah, I forgot about your son. And she was worried about me being alone, and that just touched my heart.
If If someone does a good job, no matter what it is, they should be appreciated.